In the early hours of a quiet October morning, a photograph began circulating online. At first, it seemed ordinary, just another image connected to a tragic and widely reported crime. The photo appeared briefly on a small internet forum before spreading through private messages and social media threads. Within hours, it had reached thousands of people. Most viewers barely noticed anything unusual. The image showed a dimly lit living room. Police tape hung across a doorway. Evidence markers sat scattered across the floor. A coffee table stood slightly out of place. To the casual observer, it looked exactly like what it was supposed to be, a routine crime scene photograph. But when investigators eventually saw the image circulating online, something about it made them pause. It wasn't the room itself or the evidence markers. It was a much smaller detail, something so subtle it had been overlooked during the earliest days of the investigation. Yet, once noticed, it raised a troubling possibility. The crime scene might not have been interpreted correctly. The victim was Emily Carter, a 28-year-old graduate student studying environmental science. Friends describe her as thoughtful, curious, and quietly determined. She loved hiking and photography, often spending weekends exploring nearby parks. Emily lived alone in a modest apartment near the university campus and kept a simple routine: classes during the day, research at the lab, and evenings spent studying or editing photos. It was a quiet life that rarely attracted attention, until the day she failed to appear for a scheduled lab meeting. At first, classmates assumed she had overslept, but as calls and messages went unanswered, concern grew. By late afternoon, a close friend stopped by her apartment. When no one answered the door, the building manager unlocked it. Inside, they found the apartment silent. Lights were on in the living room. A coffee mug sat on the kitchen counter. Emily's phone was missing, and near the center of the living room floor, Emily lay motionless. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but it soon became clear she had died hours earlier. Investigators began documenting the scene. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken windows, and no clear evidence of a struggle. The apartment looked strangely undisturbed. Detectives soon reconstructed Emily's final known movements. Security cameras showed her entering the building alone the night before around 8:30 p.m. Her phone records contained only routine messages earlier that evening. Nothing suggested she expected danger. Because there were no signs of forced entry, investigators believed Emily may have known the person responsible. Attention eventually turned to people close to her, including her former boyfriend, Daniel Brooks. The two had ended their relationship several months earlier. Friends said the breakup had been tense, though not explosive. Detectives learned Daniel had attempted to contact Emily several times in the weeks before her death. Phone records showed a few unanswered calls and short messages. While nothing directly connected him to the crime scene, investigators noted that Daniel had once possessed a key to Emily's apartment. It was unclear whether he had returned it. Meanwhile, forensic teams photographed every part of the apartment. The room appeared orderly, almost too orderly, as one detective later described it. Without clear evidence of staging, investigators continued following their initial theory. Months passed before the photograph appeared online. No one knows who leaked it. The image surfaced on a small discussion forum focused on unsolved cases. At first, viewers examined familiar details, but one person noticed something unusual in the lower corner of the frame. A polished metal lamp base sat beside the couch, and within its curved reflective surface, something faint could be seen. After the image was enhanced, the reflection revealed the outline of a person standing just outside the frame holding a phone. Normally, reflections in crime scene photos are unremarkable, but the timing raised questions. The photograph appeared to have been taken before the official crime scene team arrived, and the person in the reflection was not wearing police attire. When investigators examined the leaked image, forensic analysis confirmed it had not been altered. Someone had been inside the apartment taking photographs before authorities secured the scene. Detectives retraced the earliest moments of the case and discovered that one person had briefly entered the apartment before emergency responders arrived: Daniel Brooks. He had come to the building after being contacted by mutual friends worried about Emily. According to early statements, he stepped inside for only a few moments. At the time, that detail seemed unimportant. but the reflection in the lamp base appeared to show a man wearing a dark jacket and holding a phone, clothing similar to what Daniel had reportedly worn that day. Metadata from an image Daniel later posted online also contained a timestamp placing him inside the apartment minutes before police arrived. The leaked photograph forced investigators to reconsider the sequence of events. If Daniel had entered the apartment first, what had happened during those few minutes? When detectives compared the leaked photo with official crime scene images taken later, they noticed something subtle. The coffee table had shifted position. In the leaked image, it was slightly angled, but in the official photographs, it had moved several inches. The change seemed minor, yet it partially obscured an area of the floor that may have contained key evidence. Investigators began to suspect the scene had been unintentionally altered before it was fully documented. That meant their original reconstruction of the events might have been flawed. In the months that followed, detectives re-examined the evidence and reconstructed the room using both sets of photographs. They reviewed digital timelines and interviewed witnesses again. The leaked photograph revealed a vulnerability in the earliest stage of the investigation, when the scene had not yet been secured. For Emily Carter's family, the discovery was both painful and important. It reopened unanswered questions, but also ensured the investigation continued with renewed scrutiny. Today, the case is often cited as a reminder of how fragile crime scene analysis can be. Sometimes the most important clue is not the evidence everyone sees, but the detail hidden quietly in the background, the reflection no one noticed, the object slightly out of place, or the photograph that was never meant to be seen. In this case, one leaked image didn't just reveal a detail investigators had missed. It changed the entire direction of the investigation.